have to prove that if there is a language defined by R1 and another language defined by R2, then and we have FAs for these two languages, then there exists an FA for language R1 and R2. So in other words, you can say you can add two FAs. So let's say this is FA first for R1 and this is second FA for R2. You have to add these two FAs like R1 or R2 or say FA1 plus FA2. So now the thing is, what is meant by this addition? It means the resulting FA will accept all the words which are accepted either by FA1 or by FA2. So we have to draw an FA that is the sum of these two FAs, and the language of that FA would be the union of these two languages. So for that purpose, we will draw a table and we will start drawing it systematically. So let's start here. So here is the table, and here we have these states. So we start with the starting states of these two FAs, x1 and y1, because both are the starting states. So we create a new state that comprises of these two states, x1, xy, and y1, and we call it z1. Let's say this is x1 or x2, and I call it z1. So from here we will look for all the transitions which are possible for these two FAs for letter A and B. So for letter A, let's see what happens. If you have letter A on, this is y1, x1 and y1, x1 and y1. So if you have letter A and you are on x1, you reach up, go to the x2. So I write here x2. And similarly, if you are on y1 and you read letter A, you stay on the state y1. So I write here y1. So this is a new combination and I call it z2. Let me draw it here. It is x2 and y1, and I call it z2. So you reach up here for letter A. So if you read letter A, you reach here. Now we look up for letter B. So if you are at state x1 and you read letter A, you move to the state x2. So I write, letter B. So if you're at x1 and you read letter B, you stay at x1. So I write x1 here. Similarly, if you are at state y1 and you read letter B, you move to y2. So again, this is a new combination. So I call it z3. So after checking for z1, we will check for z2. So let's move it here. This is z2. And in z2, there are two states, x2 and y1. x2 is an accepting state. So I put plus sign here because it's accepting state. And at z2, because it is z2, if you read A and you are at x2, you stay on x2. So I write x2 here, and if you read A and you are at y1, you stay at y1. So I write y1 here. So this combination x2 or y1 is same as this one and this one, and it is actually z2. So I write it z2 here. So if you are at z2 and you read A, you stay at z2. So I like here A. Similarly, I forgot to draw for Z1 for letter B. So if you're at Z1 and read letter B, you move to Z3, and Z3, let's say it is here, and Z3 means uh, X1 and Y2, it is Z3. Okay, now we are checking Z2 for letter B. And if you are at Z2, that means these letters attribute B. For X2, B will take back to X1. So I write X1 here. And for Y1, B will take to Y2. I write Y2 here. And this is again Z3. So at Z3, for letter B, you stay at Z3. So for Z2, for letter B to move, you move to Z3. So from Z2 for letter B, you move to Z3. So we have checked for two states, Z1 and Z2 for letters A and B. Now we have to check the state number 3, Z3 for letters A and B. And at Z3 means X1 or Y2. At X1 for letter A, you move to X2, this one, and at letter from at state Y2 for letter A, you move to state Y1, this one, and this combination is called Z2 that you have already gone through. So at this state for letter A, you move back to Z2. So let's say for letter A, come back to Z2. And similarly at state Z3 for letter B, you stay at Z3. You can check it yourself. So this one. So this is a resulting FA, that is the sum of these two FAs, and this will accept all the words which are accepted either by FA1 or by FA2. So on the next page, this is a a clean form of that. This is Z1, this is Z2, and this was Z3. So that is the rule number 2. So to practice this rule, there is an exercise for you people. So this is the first FA that accepts any string with double A, and this is another FA that accepts any string with even letters, even number of A's and even number of B's, and you have to draw an FA that is the sum of these two FAs. You will do the same thing. You will draw a table, then from that table you will draw the FA. So please pause the video here and solve it on your own, and then match your answer with this one. This must be the table, and this must be the resulting FA. So that was it. If you have any question, write on the comment box. Stay tuned for the next lectures.